everyone, it's Narelle here from Simply Stamping with Narelle, and in this video I'm going to run you through how to make the impossible card. So that's what these are. These are called impossible cards, and I think that's the name because they've got this little panel here that sort of sits up impossibly all by itself. Okay, so I think that's why they're called the impossible card, and I'm going to run you through how to make them. Now they do fold up flat to fit in an envelope, so they are easy to post. But I'm just going to run you through how to make them. I have a template to follow that will be in the blog post, and I work in inches, but I also have a centimetre conversion. So this is your standard greeting card. It's just got a few extra cuts in it, as you can see. So you start off with a sheet of your half a sheet, sorry, of your A4. So this is what your normal A4 piece of cardstock is like, and I've just cut it down half. Then I'll fold this in half again to get the score line across the middle. And it's really a easy, basic card once you get it down pat. Okay, so just fold it in half. Now I just need to make 2 cuts in this section and 1 cut in this section. This one is 1.5 inches in either side, or if you're a centimetre person, 3.8 centimetres. And you cut just down to the score line. So I just bring my trimmer in. Okay, and I will measure 1.5 centimetres. Take my blade up to the score line. And cut up. Now to do the other side, 1.5 from the score line up. This side just gets cut in half, and that is, if you're an inches person, 2 15/16 of an inch, or 7.4 centimeters, and a little squidge when you do it in the centimeters. So 2 15/16 inches. That's really hard to say, but basically it's that little line before the 3, and that's going to cut that bottom section in half. So from the score line up, and that is it. The base of the card is done, ready to go. Alright, so it looks nothing like, sorry, we'll turn it around this way, looks nothing like the finished card. So I'll just bring one back so you can see it. So that's a finished card. Okay, so with mine I like to have the big panel on the top, so I'm just going to turn that over so I have a big panel, and then that will be a small panel. And how I get the small panel there is I just twist this around, and now I have a large panel, a small panel. This is the panel that's going to sit up by itself, and then a small and a large. Okay, that's it. That's all there is to this card. And now you just have to decorate. You can do all sorts of decorating on this card. I have just done on mine patterned paper, kept it really simple, and then you've just got the stamped images and flower pattern and the sentiment there. So let me just decorate this one, and you'll see how it all comes together. So these are all my pre-cut pieces that I have already. I'll just move that one away, and all you have is a piece of cardstock you're going to stamp on, and then a backing for it, and that just goes on that panel there. You have patterned paper for these 4 panels, and this time I have decided to mix it up from what I've done in the past. They've just been plain, sorry, all the same patterned paper on the panels before. This time I've decided to mix it up, a bit of variety in the paper. I'll notice that one I haven't trimmed to the right length, so I shall trim that. And that's basically what it's going to look like. Let me just trim this one to the right size. I missed that step, obviously. Oops. Okay, that's better. So I'm going to stick those on now. So you don't have to use patterned paper on these panels. You could decorate them, stamp them, lots and lots of things. So only your imagination really as to what you can do. I decided to keep these pretty simple just so that you have to sit through a really long video watching me make them. And then this panel. Okay, now you put a strip along the back here to keep the card square, because if you notice I move it a little bit, it sort of comes out of alignment and goes a bit skew-if. So yeah, that's a very technical term, skew-if. So it's just an inch strip of cardstock as wide as the card base, and you can again decorate this as much as you like or keep it plain and simple like my one here. Okay, now when you put this on, don't glue the back of this strip, okay, because you'll end up with glue in the gap here, and you can see that I have done that twice so far on the cards that I've made. If I turn this one over, you'll see there's patterned paper here, because I was merrily just gluing everything down, put glue on the back of this strip, stuck it on, and then went, oh no, now I've got glue on the back of that. That is going to stick, and that's not what I want. So what you need to do is glue the panels rather than the piece that you're sticking on. And you have it but right up to the back of this freestanding piece so that it holds it upright a bit more. And then just make sure that your pieces, your panels are square. Okay, I think that's pretty right. Glue that on. And then you have this one you put down here, or you can put it up here, you put it wherever you like, really. But I tend to put it down there. And again, you don't have to use pattern paper. Plain cardstock and stamp it, or add all sorts of embellishments, flowers, or you can make them really, really detailed. But I'm keeping it simple here. And then this is just glued down here. Now this strip along here is perfect for a sentiment if you wanted to decorate that panel that stands up a bit more. Again, making sure that it lines up with your grid lines and it's straight and it's not crooked. Right, you just glue that on. And that's basically the card done. We just need to do something for this middle panel. So I'm going to stamp on this one with some flowers that match the patterned paper in 3 different colours. So I have the base flower is going to be powder pink, the next layer is blushing bride, and the third and final layer is melon mambo. So I haven't used this combination of pinks before, and let's hope it looks okay. To line them up, they should all have what I'm going to call like a square cutout section. And if you line them all up the same, so the square cutout section sort of would be that bit there, and then in this top one, it's that bit there. Okay, so that's how you can easily line them up without too much of a problem. Okay, so the first one. And I'm just going to stamp them around the border. And I may have a problem lining them up, because the bit I'm using as a reference is off the cardstock. But we'll see how we go. There's no mistakes when you create. There's only opportunities for embellishment. Isn't that right? And my square bit was sort of this way, and I know I had the stamp angled, so if I do the same, fingers crossed, and we'll end up with something half decent, hey? I'm just going to go for it. And with this stamp set, it's called Awesomely Artistic now, Abstract Impressions. So it's not meant to be like your perfectly lined up and synced type of look. Okay, so that's the second layer. There's a bit of difference in colour there. And then the third layer is with Melamambo. And again, straight over the top. I'm not being very careful at all where I place this layer. Okay, flowers are done. Now I'm just going to put a sentiment in the middle, and I'm going to use maybe the green that's in the leaves of the paper. No, I wanted to put some leaves on. That's right. Okay, so I'm going to use soft sea foam. This is one of our new stamp pads, and the shaded spruce. So the soft sea foam first. Just some leaves around these flowers. Okay, and now some shaded spruce over the top. Now these ones in the middle, because I'm going to do a sentiment over the top, I don't want them so dark, so I'm going to stamp off once to get a lighter look. So I want to be able to read the sentiment. Okay, that panel is complete. And now my sentiment, I'm just going to stamp in black in the middle. Make sure that it's straight. Fingers crossed that it's straight. I have a crooked eye, so it may not end up straight. Kindness changes everything. What a gorgeous sentiment. Okay, so now, and that looks crooked to me, I'm going to glue that onto the Blushing Bride panel. And then onto the card. Okay, and there we have an impossible card. Now when you're making this, what I find is normally when I do this last step, okay, this panel doesn't always want to spring back up properly, so I just fold it down. So I fold the card in half, fold the flap closed, and then give it a really good score on that line. And then when it's opened, it tends to sit up a little bit better. So you could add lots of things to this, ribbons and all sorts of things. I will embellish it later like I have these two and add a few more things. And that's it. That's how you make the impossible card. So it's not really impossible at all. You just need to know how. So I hope you have a go at making one of these. They aren't that bad and they're something different. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it.